Shalom. Hi, YouTube. All right, time to piss a lot of people off. And okay, don't mind the background. We're about to film an actual tier list video. But I thought of this a while ago when I was driving, and I was like, you know what? I got to talk about this. Okay, I'm like the only asshole that's like come up with this number, and here's where I'm at. And I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the bullshit. It's $5.99. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the fucking thumbnail and all that. $5.99. That's what the headset's coming in at. All right. It's $5.99. If I'm gonna be clear on my guess here, $5.99 to $6.99. Okay, but I am fucking promising you, it's gonna be $5.99, and here's why. Okay, the Steam Frame is a shit headset. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's an awesome headset with awesome technology, and we'll get into that in a bit. However, it's shit. Okay, it's shit. It's shit when you compare it to the other top-end headsets on the market. The Play for Dream MR, the Pimax Dream Air, the Pimax Crystal Super, the Galaxy XR. Like, go down the list. These are really fucking incredible headsets, okay? So you can't compare a Quest 3 to a Pimax Crystal Super, all right? It's just, they're not even in the same league. We can't draw that comparison. So I'm going to just rewind here and explain the logic. I'm going to go over like two little things. First off, market positioning. Second off, hardware. Okay, we'll start with market position. If we look at all the headsets for sale right now, okay, market position, what are our options, right? Between $500 and $1,000, there's the Pimax Crystal Light and the Pimax Dream Air SE. There is a couple different HP headsets, which suck, by the way. Don't buy those. They're awful. We're going to cover that in our tier list video. Yeah. There's really not a lot of options, and there's nothing really good. Not until you get close to that $1,000 mark. And when you talk about that $1,000 mark, we're talking about things like, the Magen X. We're talking about things like the Big Screen Beyond. There's a lot of good headsets at that price point. You cannot sell. Okay, you cannot sell that headset that Valve has created for $1,000. It can't be done. If they do and people buy it, those people are fucking incompetent. All right, they're retarded. They're absolutely stupid. And I'm going to go over that in the hardware side of it. Okay, market position. Who is their competition? All right. Now, my guess would have been even lower on the price, right? But Valve came out and said that they want their hardware company to be a hardware company. They don't want to make money on the software side of it like Meta does. And that's where we're at, all right? Their main competitor is Meta. In fact, Valve is the only one who can compete with Meta in terms of like VR ecosystem, right? Valve is it. Like, no one else can come close to having the quantity of games that Valve has. And how does Valve get their quantity of PC games onto a standalone headset? Easy. You make it a fucking computer, and you make it link with better computers very cheaply and easily, right? My initial guess on this headset was $7.99 when they first did their showcase, and that was because of that little the dynamic foveated streaming technology that they were showcasing. I was like, that they're gonna hardware lock that. No one's gonna have access to it. Nope, not true. You can already do it on a Play for Dream. Valve has made it not open source, but essentially where anyone with a wireless headset can stream to their own headset. So they're clearly not trying to make money on that, right? So they have to get their ecosystem onto a cheap headset. That's what they're after, right? My brain keeps wanting to go hardware. I'm just gonna stop for a second. Okay, so how much, if we look at what's on that headset, right? How much does Valve have to sell that headset for to make money, right? Now we're going to start getting into some hardware. It's got LCD panels. LCDs are cheap as shit, all right? Anyone can build an LCD paneled headset, like even wireless, in their own room with parts from AliExpress. They're cheap. LCD panels cheap. The pancake lens is the most expensive part of that headset, short of the chipset, right? And the ooh, I just muted myself. All right. Anyway, the chipset is the most expensive part of that headset after the before the pancake lenses. All right. So let's say Meta might lose $50 per sale on a headset. So like again, pancake lenses expensive, right? And let's say the chipset on the Valve might cost $100 more, right? So let's add $150 on the price of a Quest 3. What are we at? We're at $550, right? What's the typical margin for electronics, all electronics, in profit? About 5 to 10%. Where does that put us? $599. Valve is going to sell that fucking headset for $599 again, right? Their main competition is Meta. They're the only ones that can compete with Meta on like the game, the ecosystem, right? They're the only ones. So they put a better chipset in it. It's got an amazing chipset, all right? It's awesome, but it's still not like a full-on computer, right? That's why it still links to a computer. It's better, sure, but it's not $1,000 better, okay? It's $100 better at most. That's it. That's it. What else did they cheap out on? When we look at like the Quest 3 versus the Steam Frame, they cheaped out on pass-through cameras. They cheaped out, like, go down the fucking list. They cheaped out on that headset a lot. Why did they do that? It's not because they're trying to cheap out or make a crappy headset. They're trying to keep it cheap so they can compete with whom? PSVR 2, right? Because that's, again, we're talking cheap headsets. That's all you got. PSVR 2, Pico, which is now no longer being produced, at least until next year. We might get the Pico 5. Pico, and Quest, Meta Quest. That's it. That's really it. That's all there is down there below. And in that sector of the market, can Valve outsell them? Abso-fucking-lutely they can. Not with base stations, but with a standalone headset that links with PCs, any PC, really easily. That's the market. You can't sell that headset for more than, I mean, $699 at absolute most, and even then, I think it's a bad purchase. But if we look at console history, $699 to $599 is generally where new consoles always launched at, whether or not the hardware was worth it. In VR space, it's not like consoles where everyone is clamoring at the bit to buy, you know, the next console, no matter what, they'll sell their kidney to buy it. It's not like that. It's not like the Switch 2, right? VR is not like that, meaning they have to sell it at a price that's cheap enough to tempt your average numbskull buyer, right? A new person getting into VR. And you have to sell it for just enough to make 5 to 10% profit. Again, looking at hardware on that headset, the most expensive parts, we went over that. When we do the cost analysis comparison with the Quest, that headset is going to be $599. I'm calling it now. I think the only person that called this fucking headset, at least on YouTube, at $599 that I've seen. All right, the headset's going to be $599. And when I'm wrong, I'll eat my own fucking words. All right, but I'm fucking telling you, that headset, $599. And if it's a penny more than $699, don't buy it. Don't fucking buy it. Valve can lick your balls. Okay, there's better headsets. But the Pimax Dream Air SE. I would have said that there was an argument for the Valve if they didn't make dynamic foveated streaming available for everybody. All right, it's free. You can go and just get it now. Quest, whatever. You can just go get it. Okay, so anything past $699, save your money. Don't fucking buy that shit. It'll be $599, and I bet you within a year it'll be down to probably $549, realistically, at costs, when the costs come down for production. All right, again, most expensive parts on the headset. Pancake lenses, chipset. What do they cheap out on? Head strap, pass-through cameras, no face tracking, obviously. It's got attachments for face tracking because clearly they knew that they were trying to save money, right? It's got the eye tracking, but Tobii eye tracking's and everything. The PSVR 2 at $329 has Tobii eye tracking, okay? It's not expensive. It's cheap. It's really cheap. You can build it in your fucking bedroom for $20, right? It's not expensive hardware. So I'm telling you, $599. Put money on it. I'm betting it now. And if I lose, Sarah, what's a challenge? What happens? What's my punishment if I'm wrong? If it is not between $599 and $699, but principally $599, if I'm wrong, what's my punishment? Give me something.
How about?
Uh-oh.
It has to be your main headset for a month.
Fine, fuck it. If I am wrong, I'll buy one. All right, I'll wear it for a whole month, and you'll hear me bitch about it in every single video. Ugh. There. Video over.